welcome. Thanks for being here. We're going to get started on our chair and then proceed to our mat. So this is our mat series here. There'll be 4 practices. And so again, starting on your mat, or excuse me, starting on your chair. So just go ahead and find a comfortable seat on your chair. Maybe you softened your gaze already, even close your eyes if you're comfortable. And just take your moment here, take a moment to arrive here in your practice. Just feeling your breath in your body. All right, take a moment now to make an intention for your practice. Our theme as we continue together is going to be awareness. So awareness of our body as we move in our practice, awareness of just what's happening in our bodies as we move, even the movements of our mind, our thoughts that come and go, awareness. So really being aware of even the breath in our body. And so let's go ahead now, come to our Tadasana. So awareness of our posture, awareness of our breath, and a connection with our body. So lengthening as you inhale, grounding as you exhale. So let's go ahead and just warm up the body here. And so let's start with taking the hands to the knees, still find that length through the spine, into our cat and cow pose. Inhaling, cow pose, chin raised, shoulders back, gaze up to the sky. Exhale in your cat pose, chin tucked under, arms extended. So just go ahead, move through this sequence. Movement of your spine, warming your spine up. And after your next exhale, inhale, come back to neutral. Arms at your sides once again. And let's go ahead and just bring some movement to the lower body here, and alternate raising the knees with our arms. Inhaling, left arm, right knee up. Exhale. And just as if you're doing this slow motion, march. And then the next time, both feet are on the ground, arms at your sides. Just go ahead and pause here. All right. Let's come into a rotation of the spine now. So let's inhale. Let's first take that right arm behind you, behind the, to the back of your chair, or behind the right hip. Inhale, the left arm up. And then exhale to the right knee. So you feel this rotation of the spine. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe your gaze turns towards that right shoulder. So inhaling, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, rotating from the core. If that doesn't feel good to turn your head, you could keep it neutral. Just remember, on your inhales, you're lengthening. And on your exhales, you're rotating. So you feel that rotation of the spine here. And then unwind. Come back to neutral. Okay, take your arms just at your sides here. Just feel the echo of that pose in your body. Take the left hand to the back of the chair or behind the left hip. Inhale the right arm up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right hand towards the left knee. Inhale, lengthen again through the spine. Exhale, rotate from your core. Maybe your head turns, looks over that left shoulder. And if that doesn't feel good for your neck, you could go ahead and just keep it neutral. Just remembering again, as you inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, rotate ever slightly more. Feel that movement of your spine. Just encouraging the rotation here of the spine in the spinal twist. And when you're ready, you just unwind. Come back to your seated Tadasana. Just notice your posture again. All right. And one more movement of the spine before we come down to our mat. Let's take both arms up on an inhale. Let's clasp the fingers together. Release the index finger so you have like a little steeple here. So the arms are engaged here. Upper arms are next to the ears as best you can. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take the fingers or the hands towards the right. Inhale, upwards. Exhale, towards the left. Inhale, towards the sky. Just keep this dynamic movement here. Just awareness of your body, how it feels as you move the body from side to side. Maybe you feel that stretch through the side body, imagining that lateral movement of the spine. So awareness of your feet on the ground still, your foundation beneath you. And then the next time your hands are pointing to the right, hold this pose as best you can. Let's just hold it for 3 breaths. On an inhale, inhale up towards the sky, exhale towards your right or your left. Opposite side. Breathe into that side body as you feel the stretch. Keep your arms engaged as best you can. Awareness here, maybe your awareness of the arms are feeling tired. Inhale, coming upright. Exhale, float the arms down. How does it feel in your body? Again, maybe the arms are feeling a little bit fatigued. Maybe you feel more room in the side body. All right, let's go ahead and transition to our mats. And so you may want to use your chair to help you come down to your mat. Just whatever you need to come down onto tabletop. All right, so you could take that towel again underneath the knees. So you're coming onto your knees, onto your hands, your tabletop pose. Hips, knees under the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Again here, let's revisit that cat and cow pose. This is our cat and cow pose now on our mat. So inhaling, you'll feel this movement through the spine. You'll feel an openness in the neck as you gaze up towards the sky. And then tucking the chin under, rounding through the back. So move at your own pace. This awareness, again, of your breath in your body as you move. Feel the movement here of the spine. And if it feels good to linger in a pose a little bit longer, maybe you feel that stretch in cat pose. Maybe that's what your body needs right now, is just to feel this stretch through the upper back. You can hold it a little bit longer and then come out of your pose when you're ready. This is your practice, just awareness of your body. What feels good in your body? Maybe you want to explore it a little bit more by holding the pose. Okay, so after your next exhale, come back to tabletop if you haven't already. And then we're going to come into another stretch for the side body. So we're gonna, you're in your tabletop, and imagine you're a puppy dog, all right? You're just a little bit curious, and turn your gaze, turn your head towards your right, as if you're looking at your dog, so you have a tail, so you look at your tail. So you're coming into a stretch for the side body again. Do you feel that stretch on the left side of your body as your gaze towards the right? Maybe you're looking back at your imaginary tail if you're a little puppy dog, or you're looking just at the back of the feet, the back of your mat. So this is just another stretch for the side body. And remember, again, you can either have your palms on the ground directly, or you could have your hands in fists. And when you're ready, if you haven't already, come back to neutral. And we've been on our hands for a while here, so then you can, if you want, you could sit back on your heels, or you can come up to the knees upright. You could circle the wrists in one direction and then the other, just to release the pressure from having been in tabletop for a while. You can even gently massage the wrists. You can shake them out. Those are all different options. So coming back to tabletop if you haven't already. And then this time we're going to gaze to the left. So you're going to take your gaze, look back. Maybe you're looking at that imaginary tail. Maybe you're looking at just at the feet or the back of your mat. Feel that stretch through that right side of the body now, the opposite side. And then when you're ready, come back to your tabletop. And when you, all right. So that was a little bit a pause right now. Okay, so we're back in our tabletop. And let's go ahead and, we were imagining, I had invited you to imagine that you were a dog. So this is what is called bird dog. All right, so we're gonna come into this movement here. This is going to be dynamic to start. So we're gonna take the right leg, I'm just gonna move a little bit forward because that chair is behind me. So you're in your tabletop. We're gonna take the right leg back and the left arm forward. And exhale, release. So on an inhale, you're gonna raise the leg behind you and the opposite arm up. Exhale, release. So inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. So you move at your own pace. So engage your core as you come into this dynamic balance. It's like a balance sequence here, movement. Keep your gaze at your mat. So you want to keep your neck in alignment with your spine. Moving dynamically here. This is contralateral movement, so you're working both hemispheres of your brain here as you move in this dynamic movement. All right, so the next time both hands and both knees are on your mat, just pause here for a moment. We're gonna hold this pose now. This is bird dog. All right, so as you are ready, on an inhale, inhale, let's take that right leg back. And maybe this is your pose. Maybe it's just your right leg. Maybe you could take the left arm up, keeping your gaze again down at your mat. Keep that neck in alignment with your spine. And as you hold this pose, imagine here that both the toes and the fingers are moving in opposite directions. So feel that lengthening through the spine. And if you need to pause for a moment and rest, you can go ahead and release the pose and come back in. 2 more breaths. On an exhale, release the hand, release the knee. Maybe you sit back on your heels and you just, again, circle the wrists back and forth. Maybe you're just upright kneeling. Gently rub the wrists. Shake it out. All right. When you're ready, if you aren't already in your tabletop, come back to tabletop. So we're going to raise the opposite side now. We're going to take that left leg back and then raise the right arm if that's available. So again, this is a balance pose here, your bird dog. Lengthen here in opposite directions. Engage your core. This is your balance pose. Last breath. On an exhale, release again. Release your knees and your hand back to your mat. So this time, let's go ahead and just sit back into our child's pose. So this is a resting pose also. So you could put your toes together. You could take your knees out towards the edges of your mat. Arms are extended. Sit your heels back. If you have a block or a pillow, you could take that blocker pillow to rest your head on, the forehead, or maybe your head just rests directly on your mat. And as you hold this pose, just awareness of your breath in your body. One last breath. Okay, on an inhale, let's inhale. Let's come up. Let's come up to your tabletop. And then we're going to transition to our backs now. Let's just go directly on our backs. So you can go ahead and sit your hips. Sit on one side, maybe sit on your right side, and then you can swing your legs out in front of you, and then transition to on your back. So allowing your body just to come directly to rest on your back here. Again, you might want a pillow underneath the head. Arms are at your sides, legs lengthened. Let's go ahead. Take that left knee up towards you. Left knee. Let's hug onto that left knee. Let's hug the left knee. Take that right foot and flex the foot. So push your right heel away from you. Your toes are going to point up towards the top of your mat. And so this is a stretch here for that hip flexor, that right hip flexor. So you're pushing your heel away from you. And when you're ready, you can release the left leg. It lengthens back onto your mat. And on an inhale, take that right knee up towards you, hugging that knee close to you. Push your right heel, the left heel away from you. So you're flexing your left foot. So your toes are going to be pointing up towards the top of your mat. Your heel is pressing towards the bottom of your mat. So you may feel a sensation here in the front of your hip. That's your hip flexor. And when you're ready, go ahead now, release that right leg. Both legs extended, arms at your sides. On an inhale, you can inhale both knees up towards you. You can hug them close. You could gently rock from side to side. Or you could stay in stillness. And if you're rocking from side to side, you can come to stillness now. Let's encourage a little bit more movement for the hips here. So you could take your hands to the knees, and let's just circle the knees in one direction. Come back to stillness, and then circle the knees when you're ready in the opposite direction. And we could even go ahead now and circle the knees individually. So one hand on each knee, and you can circle the knees outwards. Maybe that's a little bit more available than circling them together. You can circle them in the opposite direction. So coming back to stillness here, let's go ahead, release the knees, keep them bent. So the knees are still bent, the feet are on the ground, the soles of the feet are on the ground. Okay, so we're going to come into what is called a hip opener. And so you're going to take the right leg and rest your ankle on the left thigh. Your right foot's flexed. Okay, so your right knee's bent, resting on the left thigh. Take that left knee now, or the left leg rather, and inhale it up towards you. All right, so take your arms, and your right arm is gonna go through that hole, if you will, here, and hold on to the back of the left thigh, and you could take your left hand and join the right hand. So you're holding on to the back of the left thigh, keeping your right foot flexed. So this is a hip opener pose. So you can notice here the right hip in this position. That left foot could travel up to the sky. You could raise it upward, and you could circle the foot in one direction. You could circle it in the opposite direction. And so holding this pose here, just awareness here of the sensation or in that right hip, and just gently inviting that hip to open and release. And when you're ready, if you haven't already, you can release the left leg so your left foot's back on your mat. And then take your right foot and bring it back to your mat so both feet are on your mat. Take the left leg now and rest your left leg on the right thigh. Keep that left foot flexed. And on an inhale, take that right knee up towards you. That left hand is going to go through that hole or that window. Take hold of the back of the right thigh. And the right hand can meet the left hand and hold the back of the right leg. That right foot can go up towards the sky. You can circle it in one direction and then the other. So as you hold this pose here, awareness of maybe that movement of that foot if you're circling the foot, or maybe your awareness is on that left hip as you hold this hip opener pose. Two more breaths holding this pose. And on an exhale, when you're ready, release that right leg. Take the left foot and rest it on your mat. Let's take the feet out to the edges of the mat. Your knees are still bent. You could take your arms out to the sides. Imagine here like a letter T with the arms out to the sides. And we're just gonna come into a movement with the spine here, with windshield wipering our knees. So take the knees and gently rest them towards the right. Inhale, come back to the neutral position. Exhale towards the left. Inhaling. And just continue this movement here from side to side. Windshield wipering the knees. Awareness of how it feels in your body as you move in this dynamic way. And then the next time the knees are over towards the right, keep them there. Let's hold this pose. Maybe your gaze is up towards the sky, or if it's available, you can turn your gaze to the left in the opposite direction. And just awareness here of the body, how it feels as you hold this pose. Maybe you feel this more in your spine, in the hips, maybe your neck. Maybe you notice here that surface beneath you, supporting you, or the arms outstretched. Maybe feel an openness in your heart. On your next inhale, come back to neutral. Arms stay where they are. Your gaze is neutral, looking up towards the sky if it isn't already there. Knees come back to neutral position. And when you're ready, allow the knees to gently drop towards the left. And if it's available, you can turn your gaze to the right.
Awareness is not all of it, but also to into normal, that's completely down. And just like we observe our body without judgment, as best we can also observe what thoughts come to mind without attaching to them. Inhale.
Your gaze can come back up towards the sky, the knees come back to neutral. You can slide your arms down towards your body. And one last dynamic movement before we end our practice with Shavasana. So your knees are still bent, the soles of the feet are on your mat. We're going to gently raise the hips up towards the sky and lower them down. So this is called half bridge. So we're going to inhale, and maybe the hips just come up slightly, just maybe a couple of inches. Exhale, release. So as we move dynamically, you don't have to immediately come to your highest bridge. You could just work your way up. Inhaling the hips up and exhaling, resting the hips down. Inhale, pressing into the soles of the feet as the hips come up. Exhale, the hips come down. Maybe you stay here in this movement, or maybe you want to incorporate some movement with the arms as well. So as you inhale, you can inhale the right arm up overhead and exhale, release the arm. And the left arm can come up overhead as you inhale and exhale, release the arm. So you could keep the arms just alternating here. Right side and then left side. Maybe the hips are coming up more as you continue in this dynamic movement. So you're moving at your own pace, awareness of your body moving, awareness of also the arms moving with your breath. Or arms at your sides, and just maybe raising the hips up and down with your breath without the arm movement. Again, your choice, your practice. And the next time your hips are on your mat, arms are at your sides, rest here for a moment. We're going to come to hold our half bridge pose. On your next inhale, raise your hips up. Arms can stay here at your sides, or maybe the arms are overhead. Maybe both arms overhead. Hold this pose as best you can, but remember, you're keeping your breath active. On your next exhale, release your pose. Arms at your sides if they aren't already. Inhale the knees towards your chest. Hug them close to you. All right, on your exhale, release the legs. Lengthen them on your mat, arms at your sides. You can take that pillow or another pillow under the knees. Sometimes it's nice to have the knees slightly raised. That pillow can be under at your head too, and a pillow under the head and the knees. And just coming into this final pose, allowing your body just to, with every breath, release and let go into the mat beneath you, into that surface. And gently bringing awareness back to your body. You can move the toes and the fingers. And move the head gently from side to side. And let's take, you can choose either the left or right arm, bringing up towards your ear. You can bend the knees and gently windshield wiper the knees from side to side here. And when you're ready, you can roll onto that side with the arm raised, maybe your left side or the right, depending on which side you choose. So you're resting on your side now, and then using the palms of your hands, gently bring yourself back up into an upright position. So coming up to a seated position. And I just want to thank you for sharing your practice with me and wishing you well the rest of your day and week. And just invite you to continue to just have awareness of your body, your thoughts in each moment, and just remember there's that part of you that is unchanging as you go through your days, that you are created in love, for love, and to be loved, that you are beloved. Just having that awareness as you go through your days and finding peace, joy, and comfort in that truth. Wishing you well. Thanks for being here.